Moses Wahesi opening that conversation with us about goal line technology. But we continue it with Isaac Ocheng, who is a FIFA referee. He assures me he's not retired, just been inactive this year, been refereeing for 20 years. And so this is something you're very familiar with.
Yes.
Why is this technology so important, especially now as we go to the World Cup?
Because every goal counts in the World Cup. Like what we just saw in the clip, the goal that was disallowed for Frank Lampard was actually a goal, and England did not advance after that. So I think what is important is because, why is it's important is because it will enable teams that score goals advance vis-a-vis what was happening previously.
Okay, but we've also just had from Wahesi's report that the referee still has the last word. So the technology could show us very clearly that the ball is over the line, but the referee says, okay, no, I disagree with that. Do you think this is going to create contention?
It's going to create a lot of contention. I think a lot of the referees who are in World Cup, I don't think there's any of them who's going to overrule a goal line technology goal, because this has been tried and it has been proven to work. So anytime the referee receives a signal, you know, it's visual and the watch also vibrates, just as we've seen. Anytime it receives that, then it will mean the ball actually has crossed the line. Now, maybe I need to explain that the times when we need to have the goal line technology is when there is no clear goal. There are times when you do not need to look at your watch or to see it's a clear goal. The ball goes straight past and hits the net. Then they don't need that. But there are goals that are goal, no
like
goal
the
situations.
One, which we just saw.
Yeah. So sometimes it looks like a goal and no goal. So that's where the contentious goals are where the goal line technology is going to be
shall we
used.
just go back to how the technology works? I understand that it's been tested for the last, I think, 5 years.
Yes.
So how exactly will it work?
How it works is there are 14 cameras that are fitted around the stadium, high-speed cameras, that each goal there are 7 cameras focusing on that goal. So what happens is when the ball crosses the line, the cameras will take a sequence of the ball as it goes towards the line and as it crosses the line. So you can have ball A, B, C, and D, same ball, but different positions.
Right.
From different positions and different views. So that high-speed camera quickly picks up if the ball has crossed the goal line, because the law says the ball has to fully cross the goal line. If it touches the goal line even a bit, then it's still not a goal.
Okay.
It has to fully cross the goal line. Then it immediately, within a second, sends a signal to the referee's watch.
And do you know how that technology works, how it's multilateral like that, so that there are cameras, but then there's a watch? And do you think it's going to be distracting for the referee?
A lot of the referees who are in World Cup right now have been there for over a month, and they've had time to be trained on this. And I think even the media people who've been there have gotten a taste of it. Some of them were given the watches, and they saw how fast it works. The ball crosses the line, and in a split second, you have the confirmation. So I think the margin of error is going to be very slim.
Okay, but does it take away, I know I had asked you this before, do you think it will take away the charm of the hooliganism that is associated with football, the contention that's usually there? Won't it take away a bit of the fun?
It will obviously bring some flatness, so to speak, to the controversies, because football is a game of controversy and passion and hooliganism, and sometimes the lack of proper judgment from the referees is what makes it what it is today.
Are you speaking from experience?
Yes, I am speaking from experience. So it's going to be a bit boring, because the referee will be depending on the watch to determine whether it's a goal or not. I know that it's going to really help the referees, because sometimes football is really fast. And before you reach the other side, the ball has crossed the goal line.
Right.
So if you don't have a very strong assistant referee who can show you, or even if, or in a situation where the assistant referee was also wrongly positioned, then both of you might miss it. But in this case, you can't miss it.
Do you see technology at some point or the other taking over the game? I mean, we're already seeing advancements, especially in tennis. Do you foresee a situation where maybe in the next 20 years, football will be dealt with without referees?
I doubt that is going to happen. There's a lot that goes on in the field that cannot be done by a machine.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, there are 17 laws, but a lot of the time, like in Kenya, we usually say there's an 18th unwritten law, which is experience, and you cannot take that away. There are certain things that happen in the field depending on the magnitude of games and the competitiveness that you will not find in the laws. Now, a machine will be programmed. It cannot make certain decisions. So I don't think a time will come when we will not need referees. I think that maybe the referees' powers may just be brought down a bit.
Okay, so you're seeing a situation where you're incorporating both technology and manpower.
Yes.
When do you think this technology will get to Kenya?
Well,
if ever.
we usually take time to get into this advancement mode, but I am hoping it will get here soon. Obviously, it's not a very cheap project. It's going to take a lot of money, but I think if we have goodwill, we should have it. We should actually have it as soon as World Cup is over, ideally, because once something is done in the World Cup, then it becomes okay to be used everywhere in the world. So I think it's up to our football management to think about it and to start bringing it here.
All right, so we only have, 2 days to find out whether or not it will work. And as we wind up, I'm being told it's time to wind up, I have to ask you, Isaac, what team are you supporting for the World Cup?
Argentina.
Why Argentina? I thought you'd be saying one of the African teams.
In Africa, I support Ghana. But my team has been Argentina for a long time, and because I like the way they play football, I like the passion that, with which they play the football, and I generally like Argentinian football.
All right, Argentina, we'll call you back here at the end of the closing ceremony, and maybe you'll have a chat with our sports editor, Kemboy, to see how Argentina fared. Okay. But thank you for making time to be with us this afternoon. Now you know a little more about goal line technology, so do I, and maybe football might be a bit more interesting for me to watch.